Scorpio, welcome to your reading. This is a timeless collective reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you were just intuitively guided here, I'm sure there's a message for you as well. All right, I've been sitting with your energy for a couple minutes and I have one oracle card pulled for you. The theme of your reading is nourish. And I'm immediately drawn to the cup in the center, which is overflowing. I'm hearing you're ready to nourish yourself in new ways. You're ready to give back to yourself and make overflow your norm. Usually we think of overflow as something we can only access when we go on vacation or something, but overflow can be your norm. I'm hearing overflow can be your norm when you give to yourself in the right ways, when you nourish yourself in the very specific ways that work best for you. So maybe you've been feeling kind of depleted or tired, or I'm just hearing out of sorts lately. You've been giving a lot to those around you, but now you're hitting some kind of edge here where you're realizing you cannot keep doing that unless you give back to yourself, unless you give to yourself first. Okay? The rose here indicates self-love, of course, and also boundaries. Hard boundaries. Yeah, this is huge. Accessing a state of overflow, in its essence, you could say, is all about the boundaries that you hold. Being willing to say, no more. Like, I am done for today. I have reached my limit. There's also something here about the need to nourish yourself. I'm hearing refuel yourself before you're tired. Don't wait until you feel drained or resentful or bitter or depleted or out of sorts to give back to yourself. If you give back to yourself regularly, consistently, then you don't ever have to get to that point where you hit that wall and you're like, wow, I'm dead. My soul has left my body. I literally can't function. I have nothing left to give. You don't have to keep hitting that edge, right? If you nourish yourself consistently. Let's pull a couple more cards here. Earth. I feel like the importance of taking care of your physical body cannot be emphasized enough. This is pointing to your physical body. Your relationship to your physical body is the foundation of pretty much everything. It's the foundation of your mental and emotional health. It's the foundation of your connection to your intuition and spirit. So play around with new ways of taking care of your physical well-being. Ways that you can maintain consistently, right? It doesn't have to be this big ordeal, right? Like, I don't know what, going to get a massage. That's not a really big ordeal. But I'm just comparing like getting in your car and driving somewhere to go get a 90-minute massage versus 10 minutes of stretching at home, right? Things that you can consistently do realistically are super important. And those little things you do consistently, they add up to like profound shifts. Which bottle? Okay, this card is about distraction. Either positive or negative, but in this particular case, I feel like it might be distracting in a bad way, or in a not helpful, not supportive way, let's say. There's so many other things that could take your attention. So many other things you could say, yeah, I could do 10 minutes of stretching, but this person needs me, or like, but I have to send this email by this amount of time, or whatever. It's so easy to put your physical health on the back burner until you literally can't anymore and you are ill or depleted, etc. Not feeling like yourself. Okay? When I look at that witch bottle card, it feels like the element of water in its shadow state. This is like, I don't know, it feels very like surreal and wishy-washy, and like you could just be pulled in any direction. It's giving me like a Seven of Cups, kind of confusing. And it's in stark contrast to the Earth card right before it. So I feel like working with the element of Earth will be super helpful. Choose to nourish yourself in ways that are extremely practical, extremely grounding, easy to maintain. And there's also something here coming through about decision fatigue. Eliminating or reducing decision fatigue by creating those kind of like practical boundaries with yourself. Boundaries going back to the rose in the first card. It's like, I have decided that I am going to, I don't know what, I'm just going to throw a random example. I am going to have my breakfast smoothie every day before I go to work. Like, I'm never going to sacrifice having my healthy breakfast, right, in order to get more done. That's a boundary you have with yourself. And if you've just decided that preemptively, then there's less to think about, right? You're not going to get caught up in this like, should I, shouldn't I, yeah, and now you're just leaking energy. It's already decided, it's already done. Hopefully that makes sense. At the bottom of the deck is shape shift. Interesting. Well, it just feels like you doing this kind of practical, earthy, physical nourishing and self-care as your new norm, and therefore getting yourself into a state of overflow as normal. That's going to give you access to a wider range of energies somehow. Well, it's going to build your capacity and your bandwidth to hold more, receive more, navigate more. When you're in a state of overflow and you really prioritize your well-being first, you naturally increase your capacity in all ways. You're just able to handle more, experience more. It does feel almost like your energy wants to move in new ways. You may want to play around with different ways of showing up in the world or expressing yourself. I'm hearing you have different forms, and doing this for yourself is going to allow you to access your ability to shape shift, access your ability to, well, I'm hearing now, see all sides of yourself and play with more sides of yourself. Very interesting. Okay, let's go into tarot. I am using the classic Rider-Waite-Smith. Keep it simple. Keep it practical. Sometimes that's best. All right. Show me Scorpio. Show me the collective of Scorpio, please, Spirit. Okay. Queen of Wands. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, it feels like you're in a position of authority, or you are accessing a position of authority. You're in a leadership kind of a role, whether you're just leading yourself or you are leading other people. This is like figurehead kind of energy. Other people look up to you. That could be why you're depleted, why it's so easy to be distracted and to give until you're done, right? Beyond done. So it feels very positive overall. Like, your energy to me feels very, very aligned, very empowered. And so maybe because of this alignment that you're experiencing, and this greater, this experience of leadership and power, you're now hitting a new edge in a way, or the next level of inner work is revealing itself to you. And that is, in order for you to keep doing what you love and leading other people, or at least yourself, from a place of joy, now you have to give back to yourself. You have to learn how to give back to yourself in new ways, more sustainable ways. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Yeah. Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, you have two queens. Total wish fulfillment. Your joy, I'm hearing you're on fire, which is interesting because you're a water sign. Your joy has accumulated or built up into some kind of profound wish fulfillment moment for you. This is just emotional. This is emotional overflow. You're connected to your passion. You're connected to your truth. This is so powerful, Scorpio. This is so, so, so beautiful. I feel like all you need to do now is focus on what will help you to stay here. And that's everything we talked about with the Oracle cards. Let's go into your challenge. Curious about that. Clarify the challenge that Scorpio is now facing. The Empress, grounded, earth, energy, the physical body. Yep. Thank you, Tarot, for clarifying and confirming. Ooh, look at how, I mean, the Nourish card and the Empress card, they're like made for each other. They're two variations of the same thing, really. Knight of Wands. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles are facing opposite directions. So, and the Knight of Wands is charging at the Empress. So I feel like you're the Empress, or at the very least, you're at the point where you can access Empress energy, maybe more than ever. This is grounded, delicious, divine, feminine, earth energy. Your inherent ability to create life. Okay? So not only do you have two queens, you have the Empress. This is so much divine, feminine, creative energy and flow, right? But then you have this Knight of Wands charging at you. It feels almost very violently. This feels like somebody else's energy. It could be one person, it could be multiple people, it could be a job, it could be anything. Take it as it resonates. This Knight of Wands is the witch bottle card. It is distractions. It's somebody saying, hey, Scorpio, I see how like amazing you're doing over here. I see this delicious, juicy energy and embodiment that you're accessing. I want some of it. Help me, right? Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. I want some of what you have. But then this Knight of Pentacles energy, facing the opposite way from the Knight of Wands, he's saying, no, 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 no. No, I can't give to you. I can't entertain your chaotic energy, right? I need to work on what is sustainable for me. So I feel like the challenge is almost, sorry, my nose is like all of a sudden really itchy. I wonder if that's a sign of something. I don't know what. I'll get over it. It's almost like your challenge is working around this Knight of Wands. People, places, things that are pulling at you. Like, hey, over here, over here, over here. Pay attention to me. Help me. You're doing so well. Maybe you can help me do well too. But you've got to stay in this kind of Knight of Pentacles energy, which is slow and steady wins the race. Yes, technically I could help you. I could keep giving. But if I do that, I won't be able to keep doing that if I'm doing it all the time, right? I need me time. I need to nourish myself. So what's the advice? Advice for Scorpio. We kind of already know, but let's clarify. Clarify the advice for Scorpio spirit. I just noticed that was like 80 cards. No, we're not taking 8,000 cards. I just noticed a spider in the shapeshift card that I didn't notice before. That feels significant somehow. Spider energy, which is also divine feminine energy. Six of Pentacles. I love how perfect it is. This is creating balance and harmony in the give and take of your relationships relative to not only your physical life force energy, but potentially also your resources and your money. True balance, harmony, equilibrium, symbiotic relationships, they're ones that don't take from you. They actually feed you. Your relationships should put you into a state of overflow. I understand that's not 100% possible 100% of the time, but that's the ideal that we're aiming for. Wheel of Fortune. I mean, this does, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but this does feel like a fated moment for you. This is all part of learning how to maintain the status you have acquired. So whenever I see the Wheel of Fortune card, to me it says there's a certain amount of surrender that has to happen here. You may feel that pull, that little voice in you that says, "No, come on, just work a little harder, just give a little more," right? But you have to surrender to the direction life, your guides, is actually pulling you. All forces in the universe are supporting you, nourishing yourself, because when you're in a state of overflow, that's actually when you can give the most to other people. Justice. Talk about harmony and equilibrium. This is harmony and equilibrium radiating from the inside out. This is also about a big decision. Making a big decision based on the truth, going back to the Queen of Swords here. See that sword in the Justice card? Just like in the Queen of Swords. Making a decision based on the truth. The objective truth of you. Okay. And that powerful decision to choose yourself, to caretake yourself in these new ways, that's going to like profoundly impact the rest of your life. It's going to have a ripple effect far beyond anything that you could probably even imagine. This is karmic rebalancing. Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Well, you're also learning about how overgiving and depleting yourself is disappointing. It might feel good in the moment because you're just placating, is that the right word? Placating other people. But in the long term, it's just disappointing, and it just makes you feel like bitter and sad, and yeah. So you're ready to walk away from this energy, this Five of Cups energy. You're ready to shift your perspective and look at the cups that are standing right there, right? There's 3 that have fallen over, but there's 2 that are still standing back there. You can make those cups overflow. All right, let's get a journal prompt for you from my journal prompt deck. Journal prompt for Scorpio. Oh, this is so perfect. What exciting or fun thing can you plan now for the near future so that you have something to look forward to? That's such a fun, simple, playful way to start nourishing yourself and giving back to yourself. So could be anything. Maybe plan on having a beautiful beverage and reading an amazing book later tonight. Like, set it as a date for yourself, right? Or it could be something like you want to go to this particular museum this weekend. Well, put it in your schedule, make it happen. It could be anything, big or small, whatever is, again, practical and easy for you to do. So answer this question for yourself. What exciting or fun thing can you plan now for the near future so you have something to look forward to? Accessing the energy of excitement and joy and playfulness is certainly one of the best ways to nourish yourself. Let's get a closing message from a Compendium of Witches Oracle. Closing message for Scorpio. The Laborer, number 20. Yep. You're done with that energy. Ugh. It just makes me think of the Ten of Wands. Burden, depletion, living for other people, carrying other people's burdens, taking on stuff that isn't yours unnecessarily, right? Let's see what the guidebook says. All right. The Laborer represents hard work, endurance, and resourcefulness. The intrinsic value of labor does not show only in the results of our work, but also in the tenacity, determination, and skills it teaches us. Ooh, this is interesting. Well, you have a lot of drive. You have a lot of tenacity and determination, just intrinsically. It's probably easy for you to push yourself to depletion or burnout, right? So this is now making me think, if tenacity and willpower and drive and determination are intrinsic parts of who you are, how do you express those qualities in their empowered state rather than their shadow state? Can you use your drive and tenacity to give back to yourself rather than everybody else, for example? So that, nourishing yourself and getting yourself into a state of overflow, it's not necessarily about getting rid of your sense of drive or ambition or a desire to work, right? It's not about that at all. Actually, nourishing yourself into overflow can help you to stay in that driven, focused, hardworking, beautiful embodiment. I hope that makes sense. That's interesting. Okay. All right, Scorpio. Thank you for letting me read for you. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, I will put this journal prompt in the description box along with several others. They'll help you to process all of this and take your inner work a little bit deeper. I'll see you next time. Bye.